Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Shevchik again, and you are now finished with your Chapter 7 test, so take a big sigh of relief and pat yourself on the back. I'm sure you did great. Now we're going to look at what is coming ahead tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be exploring measurement precision, okay? We'll be collecting some data, we'll be doing some measuring, and we will be performing an investigation to figure out if the lengths of the object we're measuring or the tool that we choose to measure it are going to affect how precise the measurement is going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to be actually going outside to collect some measurements tomorrow. And by watching this video today, you'll be all set for what we need to do when you come in tomorrow. So what I want to make sure that everyone's doing is writing down the steps that you'll need to do when you're outside so that you guys can have as little guidance from me as possible when you get in. And we can just head outside right away and use the time to perform our experiment. All right, so write down the steps as we go today so that you know what you need to do with your groups when you get in tomorrow. Like it or not, measurement will be a part of your life, no matter which career you choose or what you plan on doing when you're older. It shows up in the day-to-day things, and knowing how to measure precisely and which tool to use will be an important skill to have as you get older. Have you ever heard the expression, measure twice, cut once? This advice refers to the care that professionals like carpenters and fashion designers need to take to measure precisely so that all the parts of their creations fit together correctly. Careful, correct measurement also ensures that they don't waste materials. Do you think it matters what tool they use to make their measurements? You'll be going outside tomorrow to measure the tennis courts at Bayview, from this end all the way down to the far end. Imagine using two different tools, like a 12-inch ruler versus a continuous measuring tape. Do you think that we'll get the same answers for our measurements? Which one do you think would be more precise? Do you think they should be the same? Which one would be the best one to measure with? These are some of the questions you'll be exploring tomorrow with your teams. And here's how we're going to do it. Here's your task. You'll be divided into teams of approximately 4, and each person is going to measure the length of the tennis courts from one white line to the other. You're going to be sharing the tools with your team, but again, I need to stress that each person will be doing their own measurements. You'll measure once with the ruler and once with the tape measure, and then as a team, you guys will record each person's 2 measurements, so both of your measurements, on a team table, and I'll give you a suggestion for what one of those might look like. You might want to draw something like this. Each team member's name, okay, and then this could be your ruler measurement, and one with the tape measure. And again, this is just a suggestion, but then you could have person number 1, there are 2 measurements, person number 2, and again, you can put names in here, do it however you like, just so that you have all the measurements for your team recorded. And then when you come in, we're going to compile our data as a group and start analyzing it. When you come in tomorrow, here's what it's going to look like. You'll get in your new teams that you'll find out when you come in, and then you'll need to start gathering your materials. Each team, okay, not each person, each team will need a ruler, a tape measure, a clipboard, and something to write with. And then as a group decide, I guess I should have switched 3 and 4 here, but decide who wants to be the recorder, who wants to be the resource manager. Those are the 2 most important roles for today. Our resource manager will just kind of be in charge of making sure you have all the materials you need before you head outside. And our recorder is the person who will be taking down all the data for the group in addition to completing their own measurements. Okay, and decide as a group also before you get outside, how do you think you should record your data? You can use a table like the one I just showed you, or you might have a better way to do it. So you guys can be creative with that just so long as you record each person's measurements, one with the tape measure and one with the ruler. The last thing I actually just thought of that I never said yet is you need to make sure that you're measuring in inches. I'm going to go to the next slide here. And okay, just as a refresher for measuring, both the tape measure and the ruler are going to have a side for inches and a side for centimeters. Make sure you guys are doing your measurement in inches, okay? So that's on the tape measure, that's going to be the side with the white. They're the bigger ones, right? They're bigger than centimeters. On a ruler, it's the larger ones here. These are our inches. Down here are the centimeters on the other side. Okay, so make sure that everybody in your team realizes that you are measuring in inches. That's so important as we collect and analyze our data. Let's just get that in here. Even when you get your final answer, I don't want to know how many feet and how many inches it is. I just want to know how many inches. Okay, it will just help us keep things straight when we're making our histograms and our box plots in class on Monday. And just as a final heads up before you start your measuring, make sure that when you guys are laying down either your ruler or your tape measure, that you're using this line right here where I'm highlighting in blue. That's going to be where your 0 starts. Okay, be careful that you don't start way over here on your ruler. I know it looks like very, very tiny distance, but that little distance will throw off your precision. So make sure that you're starting where the 0 actually would begin on the ruler and not to the right or to the left of it. All right, hopefully you have a good idea of what is coming in class tomorrow, and see me with any questions you have.